That's what we should do, just travel the world, like, presenting the
films, trying to get into, like, see James Cameron. We've got this trophy for James. He's won the science fiction rating system. Just
Mr.
2 minutes
Cameron
with Mr. Cameron, yeah.
Mr. Cameron didn't like how you rated Avatar.
Yeah, no, he won't like how I rate Avatar. I'm flying blind on a rocket cycle, and this is the science fiction rating system. My name is Sam, and I'm joined as ever by Alex.
Hello.
And Chris.
Hello.
This is the podcast that aims to rank every science fiction film from 1 to infinity. We rank 3 films each week. So far we've ranked 18 films, with Aliens at number 1 and A Scanner Darkly at number 18. How is everyone doing this week?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
We're doing a day podcast again, aren't we? So
we are day
good
podcasting.
Energy.
It's sunny again as well.
Yeah, I know. Nice. I've got a Space Frontier Brewfist beer. I've themed my beer to be space related. It's very nice.
And how is it? Is it out of this world?
It is. It's Italian. It's pretty strong. It's good. I don't know where you get it from, but if Brewfist Italian Brewery want to hit us up, get in touch. You make some nice beer. We'd like to try some more. It's got really cool. I'll post up the picture. There's a cool spaceship on the front. Good text.
I'm drinking a Katakana by Torside Brewing, which isn't a science fiction beer, but Katakana sounds like it could be a science fiction film, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or like Mexican.
Like an ancient legend, maybe.
Yeah, the Katakana.
Yeah. Like a monster movie.
What was that film with Christian Bale in? Gun Carter. What was that film?
Equilibrium.
Equilibrium, yeah. Sounds like a word out of that.
I quite like that film.
Yeah.
That film is dreadful.
It's a film we should do on this list, to be honest.
We'll get to that.
It's set in the future and stuff, so we'll have to get to that.
Yeah, it's definitely a science fiction. Right, so this week, it's comic book week, because Guardians of the Galaxy...
What I was drinking. Sorry, you'd never asked me what I was drinking.
Are you drinking anything?
I'm drinking some UK water.
Oh, right, okay.
Continue.
How is it?
It's all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If the government want to get in touch and sponsor us to promote water, happy to do it.
Yeah, always.
I quite like tap.
Yeah, it's the way forward. It's free.
Yeah. Well, ish.
Yes. Anyway, it's comic book week, because Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is coming out. So we're doing comic book films, but not like your sort of typical ones, I don't think. These aren't really like 3... Well, they're quite big comic books, aren't they? It's not like
closest
Spider-Man.
we're going to go to comic book films, probably, aren't? Isn't it?
Yeah.
We're not going to
Thor.
do comic book films.
We'll do Thor, won't we?
No.
That's science fiction.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Well.
It's in space.
Yeah, they
all are then.
Oh yeah, then they've kind of
We need to actually use judgment and draw a line at some point, otherwise they're all science fiction.
The line is we do Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor, and then nothing else in the Marvel universe. That's the line.
Okay.
Because I don't really like Iron Man, and Captain America is definitely not science fiction. Well, it kind of is, isn't it? Though
it is.
It is. It's a scientific experiment, so it is. 100%.
Well, that's a problem
anyway.
for another day, isn't it?
Yeah.
we have let one Marvel film in, so we've kind of signed ourselves up for the whole lot.
We're going to have to let in one of the Batman ones or something.
No. Please no. I don't watch bloody Justice League.
No, there isn't a Cyborg film yet, so we don't have to open that door.
Yeah, let's forget we ever said that. So this week we're going to be discussing Guardians of the Galaxy, Flash Gordon as a dog on the podcast. That dog?
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's
all right.
We had an ice cream van last week,
Yeah,
and did you cut that out, Sam? Because I really liked that little
No, I
section.
cut it out, yeah.
Are
I cut
Are
quite
you
a
going
lot
to go
out
through and
last
cut the
week.
dog barks out now? Because I kind of like the realism of that.
No, I'll keep the dog barks.
And also, I asked for an ice cream, and I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah, it was a good joke.
So
It's my
that annoyed me.
suburban neighbourhood.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry. Life is all around.
A little, if you want to behind the scenes, it was cut out because it was just there's too much cross talking. We couldn't. You can't make anything out.
Because we're all ordering ice creams on it. I'm going like, I'll have a 99.
Yeah.
It
Flake.
was good. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Oh,
So
hopefully.
if you want your joke to make the edit, you've got to make sure no one's talking at the same time. All right.
Okay.
That's so you have to go like joke incoming. We'll all shut up,
Yeah.
and then you can say it. And I'll
This
cut
won't
out
be
the
in
joke
because it's all come off the dog bark. So
the dog bark will stay in. All this is going.
God. Okay.
Right, so let's get that again. The 3 films this week are Guardians of the Galaxy, Flash Gordon, and Dredd. Not Judge Dredd, Dredd. Did you see Sylvester Stallone is in that new Thor film? I've just watched the trailer, that's why it's really on my mind.
no, I didn't spot him. What's he doing?
I don't know what he's doing in it, but
I
he's
saw
on the...
Jeff Goldblum's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Goldblum week. Can't wait
Goldblum
for
week.
that. Actually,
Not yet.
He looks too much like the guy in Guardians of the Galaxy, the
Collector.
Benicio
Yeah.
del Toro.
Yeah. Yeah. They're obviously going that kind of route.
Perhaps they're related.
face paint people.
Yeah, so that's the sci-fi news. So the Thor trailer looks really good. So let's crack on.
Oh, I saw Ghost in the Shell, the
The new one.
real
Oh,
one.
Yeah,
right.
tell us
Real one,
more.
yeah. Really good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good, and I think it stands. I was following it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Like in the whole bit at the beginning, you know, where they're putting her together.
Yeah.
They sort of, yeah. I mean, it's a lot more flushed out, and actually the
It's,
story's different to the animation.
I know about the ending.
Yeah, they've
Which is-
changed the story, and actually, I think it's better.
No, it's not.
It's a
Oh.
it's a
It's
stronger
absolutely
storyline.
not. No, it's not at all. You're mad. You're insane. Have you heard what the ending is, Alex?
No, what's the ending? Spoil it for us all.
Basically, that she is Asian, isn't she? But like,
Oh.
Sorry, start that again.
she's Asian, isn't she? She's Japanese. Scarlett Johansson.
That's not the ending, though.
Oh, is it
That's
not?
not what
Okay.
I'm talking about. No,
Well,
they've
but that's
changed the
awful,
story.
isn't it? Like
That's a bit of a weird twist. Oh,
But
and
then-
actually, she's really Asian. That's a very weird twist.
just double down on the whitewashing of it.
Well, the brain must have come from somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's the connotations, isn't it? Because of what they've already done to it. In fact, they've already not cast a Japanese person in the first place. Just doesn't look good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is kind of an answer to people going, "Oh, why isn't she Asian?" It's like because she's a synthetic one. She is Asian.
Yeah,
It'd been-
exactly. But it made her look white. That's the thing. That's why it's even more sort of gross, isn't it?
It'd have been a better twist if it'd actually been linked to her, that she'd actually
They
just
didn't do
been
that.
the
They
robot
didn't do
from
that
her.
bullshit where they cut her head off and put it on a child's body like they do in the animation. 'Cause that's just weird. That wouldn't even work.
Let's not bring up last week's arguments
Yeah.
again.
I could go on to many things why actually that film is better.
Brilliant. It's brilliant.
Okay.
The new one's awful. I'm going to
No, I meant the other way around.
It's massively bombed as well, hasn't it? Which is a laugh. So that's the end of their sequel ideas.
It's only because of sneery comic book people going, it's not as good as a comic, it's not as good as the animation.
It was a manga.
It's like
actually.
people who go, I prefer
God.
the book
It
to
started.
the film.
It
It's like a
started.
completely different art form. You can't say,
Jesus, no, not different art form. Oh God, we're going to be
We said we weren't
flashbacks.
going to talk about this. We said we weren't going to talk about it.
I much prefer the book, Jurassic Park, to the film.
Oh dear.
Carry on.
Let's move on quickly before this deteriorates further.
Yeah, I'm cutting all this as well. It's too aggressive.
No, it's not. Come on.
It's what
Right.
people tune in for now.
They're not. It's getting cut. I'm not even joking. I'm cutting it. I'm sick
Like
of it.
it'll go like I'll go. I think Ghost in the Shell is rubbish.
Yeah. I completely agree with Sam. Right, so let's stop the shenanigans. Film number 1 this week is from 2014.
14.
Thank you. James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy, adapted from the comic book, which I'd not read before seeing the film. Had either of you read the
I knew the
Comic
characters.
books.
Yeah. Right, Chris, you're doing this one, aren't you? So
Yeah.
give us an idea of what this is about.
So this is it's in the Marvel universe, but it's kind of a self-contained, more sci-fi group of characters. Now, I think it was the first time we've seen Chris Pratt in a big movie, this one. And he's playing like a Han Solo sort of character called Peter Quill.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got some backstory of how he was abducted from Earth and his mother died of cancer and that sort of thing. So I think they're going to flush that out in the second one that's coming out. I've seen the trailer and it seems like they go a lot more into...
Well, his dad's in the second one.
Yeah. But it's kind of a ragtag bunch of characters. You've got a green woman played by Zoe Saldana. Rocket, who's like a little... what would you call him?
He's a raccoon.
And a couple of others. There's a tree, played by Vin Diesel. That's not
Drax.
such a strong character because he just says Groot all the time. So I struggle with that. And the other one, Drax.
Yeah.
I don't find him funny either because he just talks very literally.
He's the best thing in the film.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
he's
probably
great,
works in
yeah.
a comic book, but I'm not sure it works as a film.
Well, he's
character.
hilarious in the film.
Yeah, he's
I think
great.
Yeah.
He has the best
I wouldn't
lines.
say anything in this film is hilarious. I'd say it's funny, but I'm not sure it's like super, like didn't blow me away at all.
So, okay, the story basically is that they're trying to...
It's probably because I like Star Wars too much, and this is kind of...
Well, it's one of the... They're after one of the Infinity Stones, which is like the big overriding plot of Marvel,
Yeah, there's
isn't
this MacGuffin thing that everyone's trying to get their hands on. And,
Yeah.
I think that's like kind of a super simplified movie when there's just everyone trying to grab hold of one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of... it is a simplistic storyline.
But they're often first things of a franchise do, don't they? Because they want... It's about world building, isn't it, really? They don't want to make it too complicated. But I agree, it's not a great... Like, the last third of the film, I don't really like, because it's just all chasing after thing and fighting.
It's like a lot of the Marvel
boring.
films just descend into just shoving loads of stuff in your face.
Yeah,
Like, It just goes absolutely, like, particle crazy on, like, shots of, like, billions of things flying around.
But before that, I do think it is... I think it's genuinely funny at times. I think Drax is funny. I love the line about things going over his head.
Yeah. I mean, there's some
got some good stuff.
good lines. But with all Marvel films, I struggle with, because I've said it before, the whole script is just sass talk. Every line is sass.
Oh, I don't think so. Not everything.
It
Well,
fits
a lot
these
of it
characters,
is.
though, doesn't it? To have...
Yeah.
Well, every Marvel character is that then.
Not everyone.
even
No,
in
not all of them
in
at all.
Like Tony
Captain
Stark
America's
ones
not.
and,
Tony Stark
No.
is, yeah.
Hulk isn't.
Hulk
Well,
isn't.
Captain America's like the straight man of that world, isn't he?
So's Hulk.
Yeah.
Black Widow's not always
Well, Hulk
sassy.
only says like a couple of words anyway. He's like Groot.
No, he doesn't, because he's a doctor. When he's a doctor, when he's
When
Bruce
it's
Banner.
the straight bit, yeah.
Ruffalo, yeah. So, I mean, I mean, it's enjoyable. I like it. I like the music's really cool. 70s music.
Yeah.
Only Marvel could afford to like have the rights on that sort of album. And yeah, it's cool.
So generally favourable.
And I think his mum made him that mixtape, right?
Yes. And he gets the second one into the film.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Alex.
it's totally enjoyable. It's probably my favourite out of the Marvels.
Yeah. Okay. Alex, what's your
Well,
thoughts?
I'm a huge Marvel fan, and I collected comics from really young to 2008, where I had to stop because I didn't have the money. And when I was a kid, you know, seeing a Marvel character brought to a film or a TV show, it was shitty kind of 70s Spider-Man where they throw like rope nets over people, or like Dolph Lundgren as Punisher, which is just nothing like what it should be, or even like the Ben Affleck Daredevil film, which just like literally rapes every character and makes them awful.
The Hulk TV series as well?
The whole TV series, where they can't call him Bruce Banner. I read they wouldn't call him Bruce Banner because the TV executive said Bruce was a homosexual's name, so they had to change it to David Banner. So to me, for me as a kind of fanboy, I think we're in this kind of golden age of just like having all these characters brought to life. For me, is amazing, and I like Guardians of the Galaxy because they kind of took a punt on characters that were a bit more odd and a bit more out there, rather than just like, oh, here's another big one, here's another big one, here's another big one. They took some people that you probably not many people had heard of. Like I say, I'd heard of them, but I didn't really read the comics. And I think all of it just works really, really well. I think considering how big it is, all the characters, there's so many famous people, so many characters, especially when you compare it to Flash Gordon, which we'll talk about later, I think as that kind of giant space opera, kind of entertainment, but serious, but a bit of heart, but a bit of kind of action, I personally think every bit of it works really well. So yeah, I love it.
When you compare it to them old sort of 60s where there really were, like, in production values, quite garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the sort of narrative is the same, isn't it?
Yeah, the general, like you say, the
band
plot
together
is
and then
yeah,
like the
yeah.
Death Star run, basically. Yeah. So for me, I enjoy it. I enjoy nearly all of it. I like the first 2/3 of the film, to say. I think I do like all of the Guardians of the Galaxy sort of ensemble. Even Rocket Raccoon's the sort of character I would normally like really not like, but I think they just do him.
Yeah,
they do him just right. Like he's not like annoying as he could be in like less.
He's kind of depressing as a character. He's like that line about him being ripped apart.
Experimented on.
I didn't choose to be made. I mean, it's a pretty horrible like thought, you know. But yeah, he could be an annoying kind of comedy talking cat.
Yeah, but he's obviously like a bit sort of. Well, he just doesn't really care, does he? He doesn't give a shit, and they sort of just really go with that, and it's good. The problem for me, I think, is the villain. It's just not a strong villain at all, and the final battle. It doesn't. I don't really feel invested in it because I don't really care about Glenn Close and the people on that planet. I think Peter Serafinowicz and what's his name? The other guard. Fuzzy hair.
John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly. I think their characters are rubbish. I don't like their sort of buddy.
I just don't like that planet at all. It's like
it's not good, is it? And the way Glenn Close always got a weird sort of half smile on her face, like she doesn't really know what she's doing, which is probably true. And clearly they only had her for a day, didn't they? Because she's only in that one set.
Yeah,
all those shots. So
yeah,
they probably put the green screen wherever she was that day.
Yeah,
rather
totally.
than get her in.
But no, I think so. He falls apart, and I don't like the holding hands and all. At the end, life force defeats him. Whatever, that's bullshit. But until the last battle, I think it's a great fun film. It's
I think my problem is when I watch sci-fi like Star Wars or Star Trek, I'm so like into the just the practicalities and the sciencey part of it that I probably struggle with this more comic book 1950s view of it.
It's more fantasy.
It's more fantasy and it's less believable in its realism.
Yeah,
in like how spaceships move and.
But they have some pretty cool, like believable, like those mining pod things are pretty cool that they have.
Yeah.
Where they use them to smash into the other ships instead of because they haven't got any guns on. That's quite a cool concept that they just kind of throw in there.
Yeah, but then you've got like the big like net they throw up when they like blind the big ship and fly.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that.
I mean, in actuality, it's no more stupid than anything in Star Trek, like transporters and things like that. It's just that they've probably been flushed out in scientific sense more.
I mean, I think really though that is the strengths of it are that it is a big dumb fantasy flick, isn't it? Like I think that's why it's refreshing in a way, and because. Like, I'm not anywhere near into comics as Alex is, and I didn't really start reading them at all until the film started coming out. But by the Guardians of the Galaxy, by the time that came out, I was kind of getting a bit sick of the Marvel Universe because of how bogged down it was in the what are they called? Avengers cast. Yeah. And the idea of it breaking out of that, but having a few links back in, I think is a really good...
Yeah.
A really clever thing to do with the film, because it's clearly still got links. It clearly still links in. They're going to be in the next Avengers film, aren't they? That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think they handle it. I mean, as you said, Alex, they're really taking a gamble there, aren't they? Like they really are.
I think definitely. No,
there's
really
no. It's not as though like it's Guardians of the Galaxy and Spider-Man or something. Is it? It's like they've taken a punt on all characters nobody really knows.
Yeah, and by throwing in the Infinity Stone stuff and Thanos and stuff, they're saying this is canon. You have to watch this to get the whole bigger story. It's not like just to like punish a Warzone or like.
Yeah.
Or Big Hero 6, which is Disney. That's a Marvel comic.
Or like a Marvel Netflix series.
Yeah, exactly. They hint that it is, but it isn't. Yeah.
I don't really buy that anything's a risk with these stuff. There's zero risk in them making these things. Because they're promoted through the same channels as people who already watch the Marvel films.
But Guardians of the Galaxy, before it came out, there was a lot of uncertainty about how it was going to do.
Yeah.
Like if you look back,
they advertise their own films at the end of their own films.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it wasn't a surefire hit at all. Like if you go back and look like a Deadline and stuff, all the estimates for it were way below what it made because they were really worried about it. Like, 'cause it was so different.
And also, not to skip ahead, but if you think of Flash Gordon, everyone on that film signed a multi-film deal, they didn't make any other film. It bombed, and then so I know it's a different time, but this could have just really tanked, and they go, oh well, we'll have to kind of pretend that didn't happen. I mean, I get what you're saying, Chris. They've got so much money; it's not a really big risk, but it's a risk as far as their.
Well, what I'm saying is the budget is. It's the same. The promotional budget is the same as the filmmaking budget. So
but it can still fail.
That reduces the risk.
Oh yeah, totally. But like, look at the DC universe. They've got massively inflated budgets over this,
but
and that's failing.
Well, still, everyone knocks the Batman versus Superman one, but still made billions.
It didn't. It barely scraped even because it made $1 billion, but it cost them so much to make it.
Yeah.
Like it made $1 billion just about overseas, didn't it? But it made nothing. I don't think it did make $1 billion actually. It made nothing compared to what they wanted to make anyway.
No, and they have to make so much overseas as well. And I don't know how this could have made. It's quite. I don't know. Is this a risk overseas? Depends on how into sci-fi other countries.
Yeah,
are.
I don't know really. Like I know.
Yeah, this budget was 250 million. Its box office was 900 million.
Yeah,
now,
but
any business in the world. When you triple your money...
Yeah, but it's not as simple as that, is it? Because that 200 million doesn't include the marketing budget.
I know, it doesn't, and the marketing will be the same, so they've doubled their money. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, it's as a business, it's not a risk. Yeah. Because people will go and see a Batman film, and I went and saw it, too late, my £10 is gone.
I've lost what point you're making now, though, because we're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm not buying that this was a risk, as much of a risk as, say, Deadpool or...
I think so. For 20th Century Fox, they just need a hit. They don't give a shit. Disney needed to they've won everyone round. They've said, look, we're doing this, we're doing it right. And that's to the fans, obsessive comic book fans, but also to new people. And they needed to, and then they're just like, here's a load of people, that are so obscure and you've probably never heard of them. And it's full on sci-fi. It's not even a bit on Earth.
I think it's Chris Pratt. That's the risk part.
Well, no, the most telling thing about them knowing it's a risk is that the teaser after this film isn't related to any other film. It's Howard the Duck. There's no link into different films.
No, that's
and also,
true.
They get the...
I only watched the original of that the other day. It's mental.
Howard the Duck?
Yeah.
I love that film.
We should do that, but that is
film.
That proves when you get it, when Marvel got it wrong, that's Howard the Duck.
Yeah,
they got it really wrong there, so they can do it.
But yeah, I think it's probably the only Marvel film that doesn't have a stinger that links into something else. So there's clearly
I think it was supposed to have I read it was supposed to have the one with the two with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, but they took it out.
Oh right, well,
yeah.
So that's even more. They weren't sure about it. Anyway, regardless of how it did or what they expected from it, it's a good fun film, isn't it?
Yeah.
It stands alone, and that will possibly, fare worse for being like now meshed into the Marvel universe as a whole. Do you think?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It depends what the second one's like.
Well, it looks like it's still pretty separate, doesn't it? But
well, when are we going to get a film where literally every single of one of these
next year,
Infinity
War
1,
Part 1 will have all of them in it.
They've got films planned until 2028 or something.
Yeah,
and it just makes me go.
It's brilliant. I just love it. It makes me so happy.
It's just a guarantee. It's just guaranteed money. It's just
brilliant. It's guaranteed, Chris. To me, it's guaranteed. Literally, dreams coming true. To see these, I'm just so happy to see these characters, and the more obscure references for me, I just love it.
It's a fan base already
I'm so
there.
happy.
I love the fact that they actually had the foresight to do it and do it properly, because you look at let's go back to Batman, what the DC universe is doing, and how that is, the tone of that. Like, there's Justice League trailers that are basically aping Guardians of the Galaxy. The way Suicide Squad had an 80s soundtrack over it because they thought that's what you need to do. And just missing the point over and over and over again.
Yeah.
The fact that Marvel have kept it together with only a few duds, like Thor 2 isn't very good, Iron Man 2 wasn't very good.
The actual numbers are about the same on Guardians as Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, exactly, but much less budget.
But it's interesting how that's what I mean. The budget and the box office were about the same on them two things. But what is interesting is how in common culture. I mean, we know that Batman versus Superman was shite, and I know that if another Batman film comes out soon, I'm still going to go and see it because I like Batman.
But see, I'm not. I'm not going to see Justice League.
It
I'm not
will
gonna see
run
Wonder
out.
Woman.
You
Yeah.
won't go and see another.
No,
Yeah,
I absolutely will not.
Yeah.
Ben
They're
Affleck
going to run
shoot-
out of. They're going to run out of goodwill in people.
Goodwill,
soon.
totally.
They
yeah.
really will.
That
It'd be
one,
interesting.
because-
That is interesting in itself, though, right? How?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they do run out of goodwill because look at the last X-Men film, which flopped because eventually people do get sick of the same shit that doesn't work. You know.
Yeah.
That Logan one was all right.
Yeah, no, that went alright. But what was one last year with Apocalypse? It was called
Yeah,
Apocalypse,
you're
wasn't
talking
it?
about the new cast
yeah,
ones,
yeah.
aren't you?
Yeah.
The young cast ones.
I think it was Age of Apocalypse or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was just called Apocalypse, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so okay, we're all
I
kind
like
of
it. You know, it's good though. I just
generally
I don't know,
positive.
Do you know what it's called? Do you know what it translates to in Taiwan? What it's called?
No.
Guardians of the
Interplanetary.
Galaxy?
Yeah, interplanetary unusual attacking team.
That's brilliant.
I prefer that.
Yeah, they should have called it that, shouldn't they?
It's funny how they have attacking team, and it's not like guarding something.
No.
Defending something.
No.
It's attacking multiple planets.
And you're all going to go and see the sequel?
If I can. 100. Yeah, if I can.
I think I'm going to go, definitely. Right, shall we get to ranking it?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, this week, I'm just thinking different with the ranking.
Oh.
I'm going to count down from 3, and I want us to all shout out our preferred ranking at the same
You
time.
have to start at 1. What if I was going to put it at 1? I'm not going to, but I'm just saying.
No. I'm going to count
What
down.
we should do is on the
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to go 3,
Okay.
2, 1, and then we all say
this
our
is a
ranking.
Chris thing.
Is type it in.
This is a
I know,
Chris thing,
we'll
isn't
see
it? This
that,
is to
won't
stop Chris doing stuff. All right, I get it now.
Okay, so after so go 3,
Hold
2,
on.
1, then we say our ranking, okay?
we? It's to stop me hacking it. Okay. I'm just thinking where I'm putting it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You still there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
is everyone ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, 6.
6.
8.
Hey, that's not-
Sorry, I misunderstood how you're going to do that. I thought you were going to go counting the numbers, and you go yes. That's
No, see, that's why I said start at 1. No, I thought that too, but now
Yeah.
then I got it. Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah.
Well, it's
Sorry about
6,
that.
'cause
that
two
wasn't.
people
I
said
wasn't
6.
intentionally hacking that.
Well, it's 6 anyway, that's good. That's,
Yeah. So under Predator 2, yeah?
Yeah. and
No.
both-
I said 8.
Yeah, but we both
But
said
2
6.
people said
Yeah.
6.
So it's a 2-to-1 weighting on
Which
8
put-
to 6, which makes it
Above 7. 6.8 or something like that, so...
I meant 9 actually.
Thank you.
Not better than Wally. Full stop.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Get down, Wally, get down that list. Okay, so that's good.
What I like about it is
Yes.
it's
yes.
one of the few times in what I like about Chris Pratt
Yes.
is normally Chris's in popular culture are indeed Pratts
Yeah.
in their character name, and he's the first one that's come along who isn't.
Very good.
He's doing your name proud.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. I can't name many Chris's in any films or TV which
Akabusi.
aren't like the Pratt or like the unliked one or
Oh, yeah, no.
an attractive one or you know.
You have to change your name to Christian Bale.
Yeah, I put him under the categories I've just listed.
Chris Rock?
Yeah. Actually, well, comedian. We're talking. They've come through as clowns, haven't they? This lot.
I suppose,
So
yeah.
that's
Chris
fine.
Farley.
Yeah.
Okay, first film done. And the easiest ranking so far, I think. It was very quick.
Is that how we're going to do it from now on?
Just for this week, just something new. Let's have a quick break and we'll return with our second film, Flash Gordon. And we are back with our second film of the day. It was meant to be Dredd. Let's still do Dredd. Let's switch up the order.
Okay.
Last minute change. Look at that.
Okay.
Got to keep your wits about you this week.
live.
It's
This is
a
live.
yeah, crazy.
This is
You never know what's
changing.
going to happen. Yeah. So we're going to do... Yeah, so this is Dredd. Directed by Pete Travis from 2012. An adaptation of the comic of the same name. Well, it's actually called Judge Dredd. Well, it's called 2000 AD, actually, isn't it, the comic? But the character Judge Dredd. Adapted once before in the 90s with Sylvester Stallone, but let's not talk any more about that because it's awful.
Until another podcast.
Yes, until another podcast. So this is... it's quite a small-scale science fiction film, which I like. Basically, Dredd has got a rookie that he's taken out on her final test to see if she's good enough to become a judge. And it just so happens on that day, 3 drug dealers are killed in a like a massive tower block in Mega City 1. It's basically, if you don't know the comic or the fiction, the Earth's obliterated, post-apocalyptic, and just a few big cities left with huge tower blocks. One of these tower blocks, called Peach Trees, is that right?
Yeah.
Peach Trees? Yep. Has got the drug overlord, Marmar, at the top, played by Lena Headey. And they kill 3 drug dealers, and Dredd is sent to investigate with the rookie Anderson. And they get trapped in and basically have to fight their way to the top of the tower to take down Marmar. In a sort of plot reminiscent of The Raid, which is another brilliant film.
Yeah.
So they work their way up. This film, I love it. I absolutely love this film. And it's got like a few different sort of things going for it. One, and I'll get out of the way early on, because I doubt either of you... Have you seen this in 3D, either of you two?
No, I don't think I saw it in 3D. I did see it at the cinema, okay. I thought, but not... no.
This is the only 3D film I've ever seen that is better in 3D. Because there's a drug in the film called slow-mo, and whenever you take that, basically, it's shown in on the screen as everything does slow down, as the name suggests, and it's sort of blown out, a lot of bloom on the camera, a lot of very colourful colours, and just like slow moving shots. And in 3D, they are spectacular, absolutely spectacular. The best use of the medium, like other than Avatar, I'd say. And I think watching it in 2D, as I did for this podcast, those scenes go on a little bit too long because you've lost that. The impact of that. But that might be just because I've seen it in 3D, so I'm thinking, oh god, it's better that. But other than that, I think great film. I love... You don't often get a science fiction film with a very tight, small premise. It's always quite often operas, or if it is a small film, it'll be something more cerebral like Her or Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. To get an action film in science fiction with this kind of scale, this kind of violence, and this kind of momentum in a way, like it's basically just a walk from the bottom of the tower to the top. It's a very rare thing to get at all, especially outside of like direct-to-video films, which do it but badly. So it's sort of a one-of-a-kind sort of thing. Alex, what did you think of Dredd?
No, I really, really like this. I never really... I read a few of the comics, but not that much. And I saw the original, the Stallone one, which we're not going to talk about. But I think what this does, which is what I love about the Marvel ones, and and definitely you can say this about Guardians of the Galaxy, it's respectful to the medium, to where it comes from, the source material, and especially the whole thing that he doesn't take his mask off, like that's so important, and it does wind me up in the Marvel ones where they're constantly just, that's why Deadpool was so good, and they just constantly, you see the person's face, and that isn't what it should be about. But with this, he just doesn't. The fact that in that great shot in the beginning he puts it on, and then that's it. It's just on. And I think it's respectful, but it does something completely different, and it's got its own ideas. It's got. I think it's really because it's Alex Garland who wrote the script. I think he's and I read he went through like so many different versions and ideas on how to get the story, what story he wanted to tell, and I think he's got some. I think he's a really good writer, and this is just like you say, it's just tight. It gives you, it sets the world. You believe that world, you believe the characters, and it's just really, really well done, visually really well done, and just tight film, great, really good action all the way through, pretty much. Great set pieces.
So the respectfulness of it, like I've read a bit of the comics, not much, but you couldn't bring over much more with it without making it a lot of a harder sell as a film, I think, because it's very like more comic book over the top, and there's a hell of a lot of characters, there's a lot of different judges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think you're right that you can tell it's been through a lot of revisions because they do adapt where they need to, and they keep what is good.
I mean,
about
the thing it is different that people complained about is that the comic is a satire of kind of 80s kind of Reagan violence, Clint Eastwood, and people maybe moan that it's not a satire. But I think what he does, what Pete Travis does and Alex Garland do, they don't satirise the violence, but what they do is they constantly show you the consequences of the violence. There's just like kids getting killed, there's women being killed, there's just tons of innocent people that just get blown to shit, and they keep showing you that so you don't forget. So I don't think it is really cool and it looks amazing and you do think, wow, that's good, but it's not going to let you not see how many kind of normal people, and to be honest, watching it, you're like, well, I'm just going to be one of them normal people living in that terrible, horrible tower block. It tries to make you go, no, look, this is actually real, and this is the brutal world they live in, and this is all there is, basically.
And that's why Anderson's role is important, because she's she is the audience coming to it thinking this is unnecessary, but realising actually in this world it really is necessary to be this ridiculous. Chris, what do you think of Dredd?
I really like it. I think it's good. For the reasons you said, it's unusual to see this sort of film. I think it was probably promoted. It's promoted as a much showier thing, but actually it's a single location, nice stripped back story. I quite like it, and it is quite low budget.
Yeah, it is,
isn't it?
Yeah,
you can tell that, can't you? Though, and it looks looks cheap, doesn't it? At times.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it just looks kind of crunchy in it.
Yeah,
it's like it's been through After Effects a few times.
Yeah, totally.
It's sort of.
Yeah.
And there's no one massively famous in it, really. I mean, like,
I don't know what Carl Urban was when we.
He'd already been in Star Trek by this.
He'd done Doom by this point.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to give him props.
Did he have his mask off at the beginning of the film?
No, he didn't, and that's what I mean. Like to commit to it to the point of not show, because that was Sylvester Stallone's big thing, wasn't it? He wouldn't do a film where he wouldn't show his face.
Well, that's why he did that stupid thing with his mouth.
Yeah,
like his jaw was not lined up with his rest of his head. So it's great. There's a good level of violence. I like the the original comic book. Is it set in Britain?
It's
a British
in
thing,
America.
Right?
It's America.
It's kind of like the world's in such a state that I don't think continents still apply in the same way in the future, but it is America. Mega City 1 is. Yeah.
Okay, but it was a British comic book. Though,
it's a British comic book. Yeah, it's a British film, isn't it? As well, I think.
Yeah.
They say that the Mega City 1 stretches from Boston to Washington DC.
That's it. Yeah.
That's in the opening.
And there's really like nothing much left in the world, as I don't think, in the world of Dread.
No, there's it's the cursed land, isn't it? The outside.
That's it, cursed land. The cursed world, isn't it? That's what it's called, isn't it?
Yeah. See, I like all of that sort of technical. I like that sort of stuff. Is all really cool.
Yeah.
And the other judges that pop up are quite cool. How they're like turncoats.
Yeah, it's just like
and the chick in it is really cool. Now, is there like now that's kind of supernatural what she's got, right?
Well, she's a mutant.
She's a mutant. Yeah.
So because of like it's all like radiation.
Was that in the original? Did they do that in the original film?
I don't.
In the original film?
Do they have?
Sorry. Either did they do it in the comic book, or did they do it in
the comics?
Stallone's film? Because I can't remember there being like anything supernatural in Stallone's film.
Don't compare it to Stallone's films. Pretend it doesn't exist. Yeah. It's not important. It was in the conversation. Yeah. It's a travesty. But no, there are mutants in the comic, but that it's good as well that like she's got a mutant power, but it's not like overblown.
No, even
it's described on film perfectly.
It's what? Sorry.
Like, go on.
What do you say? Sorry?
I think it was described really well. Her power of how she experiences the world.
Yeah, I mean it's a real clever job that they do set up this city with just a tiny little monologue, and their job. Even though, like most people, all they know about Judge Dredd is he's a cop in the future, don't they? And he's a badass.
Yeah.
And yet you're not really left wanting more, are you? You don't need any more sort of backstory. You've got all you need in there, and that's why the small scale works. It's so cleverly, just a cleverly built world, isn't it? Really.
It probably benefits from the existence of RoboCop. The fact that people are aware of RoboCop, and I think there's a couple. He says you've got.
Although he's a bit more like Ed 209, isn't he?
He says you've got 10 seconds to comply. And so, but it does kind of. I think maybe people have that as a reference, so it's a shorthand of that kind of bit fascist.
Well, it's just the authoritarian sort of Reagan world, isn't it?
Yeah.
Reaganomics.
The only other thing I want to mention is the death of Mama, which obviously. So if you've not seen it, you should go and watch it. But basically, Dredd gets to the top of the tower, confronts Mama, and she's got an explosive device and says, "If you kill me, I'll blow everything up." And then Dredd literally just shoots her.
Yeah.
And then she just falls to the ground. And then he says, well, if I throw you out the window, the device won't be in range, it won't blow up. But just that, I think that is the comment on, you know, saying about a satire of like violence, stuff like that. The fact he fights all the way to the top, and then the final climactic battle is just one gunshot thrown out the window. And I don't think you can see him I think you see from the perspective of Anderson, don't you? Him throwing her, I think.
I think so, yeah.
So you obviously see the fall in slow motion because she's taken the drug, but like
he forces her to take the drug, doesn't he?
Yeah, but like that whole kind of again sort of what's the word? Not destabilising, deflating the final
pointless.
battle in a way. Yeah. Just saying like it's just another shitty life who just got shot and thrown out a window, you know, and that's sort of a really nice way to end it, isn't it? Because you're all ready for like a big like, oh god, here's a showdown.
Yeah. Well, like the raid, it kind of goes. It's almost like a computer game. It goes up in levels. You know, it's the bit with the guns, those amazing like helicopter guns. Yeah, he fights the three other judges, the crooked judges. You know, it's like mini bosses all the way. And you'd expect her to get all kind of. In another version of it, she'd take the drug. She'd be super powerful and be his equal, and there'd be this 15, 20-minute fist fight.
They do a shot from her perspective going slowly around him, wouldn't it? Like,
yeah,
and
exactly.
It's like she's going really fast, like shooting.
And probably
super
Anderson
slow-mo.
would save him at the last minute and proving herself. But yeah, you're right. He doesn't even really know if it's going to work, does he? Like he doesn't really.
I also love that Anderson's like last contribution basically just hands a badge pack and just walks off. She's just like, fuck this.
Had enough of this.
Yeah. It's a pity it flopped because I loved another one.
But it's got such a huge fan, hasn't it? I mean, fans have kind of demanded a sequel.
It's just been released in 4K, which if I ever get a 4K TV, I would definitely get because that would look amazing, I imagine.
Yeah.
But no, I think it would. You could make a mess of a sequel, but like if you just transplanted that to a different environment, sort of like Under Siege 2. Pull a train's time.
I think Carl Urban talked about a TV series.
That'd be
the possibility of that. So I mean, it could still happen if there's fans, especially the way with like Netflix and stuff like that. They don't need much money to get something to go out there anymore.
That's true.
So fingers crossed, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they made that for 30 to 45 million. That film, because it's a pretty good show.
That's the benefit of it being small scale, I suppose, isn't it? That you haven't got many things to make look spectacular, have you?
There's some good effects and like the good.
Still, once you get involved in this crap, it skyrockets.
Cost escalates fast. Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, most of it was shot in like pretty samey sort of environments, wasn't it? The whole sort of film.
I mean, it does look cheap. Did look cheap to me. It does. I don't know. There's something about it.
In a good, like Chris said, in a good way. It looks cheap in a kind of dirty, used, real way, not in a super clean, sterile, no one actually lives here way. It looks like
totally. Yeah.
You feel that's a real environment.
It looks like a sort of late '80s action film, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But made now in a way, which I don't mind that aesthetic at all. That's in my wheelhouse. So, no, great film. Okay, shall we rank?
Yeah. You're going to count down again?
Same thing again.
Right.
No cheating this time, Chris. No cheating.
Hold on. Let me just see where it's going. Okay.
Have we all got our places?
Yeah.
For me, in this list...
No, wait a minute. Whoa, hang on. You can't say. We're doing the countdown. You ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, 5.
7.
8.
What did you say, Chris?
8.
5, 7, and 8. 7 above Wally. Yeah. I can get with that.
It's below Wally because if it's 5, it's 7, and 8, it goes.
No, it's still weighted above.
I haven't got my head round the weighting system.
No, you keep undoing it. In fact.
I don't know why I'm so sticking up for Wally all the time, but I mean, this is.
Yeah, I don't know why either, really. How do you find out the average of 3 numbers? That's what I want to know. I want a calculator that does that.
You add them together and divide them by 3.
Do that maths for me then. What's that?
Well, this is an interesting podcast.
Well, what do we do? 5, 7,
Someone doing
5,
maths in silence.
7 and 8.
5, 7 and 8, yeah.
8 and then divided by
It's
3 equals
15, 20 divided by
6.6
3.
recurring.
Nice, okay. So it is, so it's above. So Alex wins basically.
Yeah.
Above Wally, below. I'm not sure about this democratic process of weighting.
Just
of
argue
numbers.
it out, but then you just go and
Finally.
cut the argument
Yeah.
I much prefer
because you're worried that it's too negative.
Yeah, see,
No,
see, Chris, he can't do his arguing thing. When we all shout out the number, he can't do his psychological
I know,
manipulation.
By the way,
anymore.
I bullied aliens up to the top. That was
Yeah,
it.
you can't do that anymore if we do this yelling the number out thing.
I know,
Well, it's for 1 week only.
Oh, it is
Yeah.
now.
We're back to bullying next week.
yeah. After he's got Dredd up there.
No, Dredd. I didn't. Dredd's on the average.
No, actually, I do like Dredd. It's a good one.
Better than Wally.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that sounds fair enough to me. Number 7. I like it. There's one more film left to look at, and it's probably going to go a little bit further down the list. And that's Flash Gordon. We're back in a second with that. We're back for part 3, our final comic book film. We're going back to the 80s, back to 1980 for Flash Gordon. Who's it directed by? Anyone know?
Mike Hodges did get Carter, so, good
Thank
director,
you.
but...
Alex, fill us in on what this
Okay.
is all about.
Well, it's Flash, the saviour of the universe, but it doesn't really... Yeah, it doesn't make it clear. I was just going to sing the whole the Queen song.
Just put that on.
As a kind of plot synopsis. But it's the 1980 movie based on the space opera adventure comic strip created and originally drawn by Alex Raymond in 1934, which was made basically to compete with Buck Rogers, which was really popular at the time. Plot-wise, it opens when the evil Emperor Ming the Merciless, Max von Sydow from Minority Report and Exorcist, starts causing random destructive disasters on Earth, including hot hail. And the only person who realised it might be an alien invasion is unhinged ex-NASA scientist Dr. Hans Zarkov. Needing help to investigate the attack, he tricks New York Jets football star Flash Gordon and travel journalist Dale Arden to go with him in a spaceship he has built. However, they are quickly captured and taken to the planet Mongo to face Ming and more. There you go.
Brilliant.
I watched this as a child and thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Watching it again, my God, it's just
Beyond
awful. It's just so awful. But I mean, I guess when I was reading about it, it sounds like it was just a complete nightmare to make. But the thing I read that just I think is the key to why it's so terrible is that the guy that wrote the script, Lorenzo Semple Jr.,
Yeah.
said he was pressured to make it funny, and now he says, afterwards, he realised it was a terrible mistake. And he basically said that he basically had to keep fiddling with the script, and he didn't think Flash Gordon was a very good character, and they kept kind of trying to make it funny and all this stuff, and it just made the script ridiculous. And I think it's the tone of the film that is just so odd. It's this kind of kid's fantasy, like a teen fantasy of you're the football hero, you're a football star, you get the girl, you get to make out with a randy space princess, you save the universe. But yet it's got torture, it's got gas chamber execution, there's the ball worms, there's a bit
Not the ball worms.
Not the ball worms. There's a line about
Not the hot hail.
the hot hail, yeah. There's a line about necrophilia. There's the bit where she's getting whipped and her dad's watching it. I mean, it's got a lot of very odd kind of S&M rapey sexual stuff going on in it that just doesn't fit at all.
A bit of Hitler love.
Well, in the countries of origin, it says United Kingdom, Netherlands and US. So the Netherlands might have something to do with all
basically,
of them things.
it's Dino De Laurentiis is the guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
The producer who made a lot of crap, basically. And I've read, like half the crew is Italian and half the crew is English, which caused a lot of problems. And obviously, like, De Laurentiis is a nutter anyway. I think the guy who wrote the script spent a year writing it, didn't he? And then submitted it, and De Laurentiis didn't even read it, and then realised this isn't what I wanted.
Yeah. They went through tons of directors, didn't they? They couldn't settle on a director either.
So I weirdly really quite enjoyed it, but just because of how like dreadful it was. And I read a quote from the lady who played the lead woman, I can't remember her name, saying that the actors were aware that it was camp nonsense, but the people in charge of making it kept telling them to play it seriously. And I think that's why I can enjoy it, because there's a lot of like bad actors or being badly directed, reading a bad script, but trying their hardest to make something out of it, and it just fails over and over again in so many different ways as well. So many wonderful ways. Chris, what's your initial impression of Flash Gordon?
Oh, the film's garbage, but I am going to take something. I'm just reading like the development background of how George Lucas wanted to make Flash Gordon in the 70s. Yeah. And because that was seen as actually an intellectually important piece of property, it was difficult for him to acquire because, as you said, it was quite popular at the time, this sort of swashbuckling thing. And so he went off and invented his own universe. And I think, the world would be a lot different now if he would have made Flash Gordon instead of Star Wars, gone away and made Star Wars. And also, it kind of is a lesson to us all in the sense of, you know, he wanted to make this, he couldn't get the rights, he went off and made his own thing.
Yeah.
And
it's worth noting that the comic is very different to the film, isn't it? Like, it's not...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying this would have been George Lucas's film.
He probably would have made a more competent Flash Gordon.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, all the diamonds and star-spangled sort of craziness, that's an invention of the prop department and the film.
The costumes are awesome. Like, I can't fault them on... The amount of costumes is just, like, you know, it's epic. That's what I mean. It's funny because it is directly. I think you can compare it to Guardians of the Galaxy in that is this big. Wars. Yeah, there's this big epic film. The lead character is even with Guardians of the Galaxy, the lead character is this Earthling man who's a bit randy, a bit of an idiot, a bit of a giant kid, and weirdly they both have the same message in that humanity kind of saves all these alien races, but whereas Guardians just takes the piss and just makes it a just big joke, basically. You know, that's
really embarrassing, that bit when he goes
with the dance bit.
What's that? Humanity.
Yeah. But it's bad, but it's not as bad as this, where the I mean in
this film when it's
yeah.
I can't remember what the context is, but there's something like they save someone, don't they? And they're well, why did you do that?
Oh yeah,
that's humanity.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's
like Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
It is almost. Yeah. I mean, it is also almost a shot-for-shot remake of Star Wars at times. Like when they are escaping towards the end, before he gets on his hoverbike, and they're going through the corridors. That's just like them escaping the Death Star.
Yeah.
It was clearly, and it's like 3 years after Star Wars, so you can see what they're doing.
The forest planet as well, where Prince Baron is, really looks like kind of Yoda meets Ewoks, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
There were just so many dumb things in it, like so many bits. I was just like, why is this happening?
It's it's kind of weird how you sort of want to. I don't know. I wanted to like it. I think. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think because I watched it as a kid, I wanted to go with it in a way. And as I say, I could get behind some of the crapness of it, but then it just keeps tripping me up by like the weird sort of like implied rape sort of things.
Yeah,
the weird.
Yeah, maybe that is it. Maybe if you're younger, you can ignore that
don't notice
stuff, and it's more entertaining. But I just couldn't. I mean, ultimately, as a character, he would have just died, wouldn't he? He'd have been executed and died, and that would have been the end of the film.
You know that scene when he first tries to escape and he starts doing his American football moves.
Oh God!
That was improvised by him and the female lead. Because that scene was apparently just nothing. They just sort of just ran out, and then they thought, well, hang on, he plays football, so maybe we should do some like football moves. And all of a sudden, that's a part of the script. But it sounds an absolute disaster. And that guy as well, the main guy whose name I forgot, is it someone Jones? Is it?
He's in Ted.
Like, did you read that nearly all his lines are dubbed?
Yeah.
But no one knows how many.
Yeah.
Like no one's got idea what lines he's saying.
No. But he was again like the director. He was like the 10th or whatever pick. They went through all these people, screen tested them, or wanted all these different people, couldn't have them, and they kind of settled on him for some reason. I don't know.
Well, he's not an actor, is he? Because he was. Do you know where they got him?
Where?
He was a contestant on the game show The Dating Game.
Oh God!
And the producer saw him on TV and said, "That's Flash Gordon," and got him in based on that.
You know what? Schwarzenegger came from similar sort of.
Well, Schwarzenegger, they wanted him for this, and why wouldn't they do it? I can't remember.
Is it his accent?
It was the accent, wasn't it? Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was the accent.
Well, ironically, if they're going to dub it anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that guy, the lead, is a terrible actor.
Yeah. Just why do the Hawkmen own a flying machine?
That's a good question. The lazy Hawkmen?
Yeah. And
well, it's like, why do humans that can walk own cars?
Yeah, they got wings.
Fair enough. Okay. Fair enough.
Well, I'm sticking up for it. I'm just trying to. That's my logic. Yeah. What I find interesting about this film, from a filmmaker's point of view, in the sense of obviously there's this Flash Gordon thing, and they went for their 10th choice of director, cast, all the rest of it. So that kind of dropped down from their original aspirations, and it may be because of the source material. It's because it was probably quite restricting in some ways, and maybe
the source material wasn't at all. No, it's completely not like the source material. They can do what they like, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
like all the campness of it and stuff like that. I mean, I think the comic was camp, but it wasn't as over the top.
Isn't it like that Captain What's It of Tomorrow? You know, that weird Jude Law film,
Sky
Captain. Yeah, that's the kind of style, isn't it? That kind of
that's right. Yeah.
Steampunk.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Ish. Yeah. It's got its own sort of. It reminds me a lot of Barbarella, which is
interesting though, isn't it? Because it's like they forgot all of the visual effects techniques which they learnt in the 70s. It's like they forgot them right at the end of the decade here.
It's more that
it's obviously the people are doing.
Yeah, no one competent was involved, and no one knew what they were doing. Like, the script wasn't finished in the film and stuff like that, and it's. The big battle with the flying men, the wingmen, birdmen, it's called. Apparently that took them days and days and days, and they shot loads and loads of that, and just because they didn't know what they were doing, it's like we just need to get coverage of people flying like birds. But I think Brian Blessed's character, which obviously is the one that you always remember, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because Gordon's alive, all that business. He's basically not. He's a bit of a bastard, isn't he? Really,
they're
he's a
all
coward.
Kind of bastards. There's not really any nice characters. They're all kind of dicks, aren't they?
Yeah,
it's a lot of.
When he's like. They think Flash Gordon's dead, and he's all like, "Oh man, well, if Flash Gordon was alive, I would really be into helping him. I really would." And then the guy's like, "Oh, Flash Gordon's alive." And he's like, "Well, you know what I just said? I'm not quite sure about that now." It's good. I like his commitment to that role.
Yeah.
He's going for it, isn't he? And Max von Sydow as well. He's doing his best.
He's doing his best.
Really?
Yeah. No. Like you say, the people are kind of committed to it. They're trying. A lot of the English actors in it are doing the best they can. They've got good
They're all
work
kind
ethic.
of. It's like there's good actors revolving around this sort of suck of Flash Gordon himself, who's completely terrible.
Yeah.
And also, they've all seen Star Wars and seen how Alec Guinness was doing that.
Yeah.
And Timothy Dalton probably thought, "Hey up, this could be my Star Wars like Alex got over there."
Timothy Dalton's quite good, though, isn't he? I think
he is. Timothy Dalton's good anyway. But Brian Blessed was probably heard stories from Alec Guinness how Alec Guinness thought it was a fucking pantomime when they were doing Star Wars.
Yeah.
And Blessed's there going, "Well, Alex says it's like this when we shoot it, but it turned out really well, so we're just going to go along with this." And it turns out it did turn out like a pantomime.
Yeah.
So
Richard O'Brien as well. He's all right.
Yeah. Again, another weird role, sort of half friend and not friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
A completely underdeveloped sort of world, and it's just hitting all the notes of Star Wars, isn't it? But not really committing to any of it.
Yeah, if they'd actually made it as a parody of Star Wars, it probably would have worked.
Thing is, that's why I like it there, because at times you can watch it as a parody, can't you? And that's the enjoyment I got out of it, that it was so unaware about how ridiculous it was. It did play a bit like a purposeful parody in a way, because it was so... I don't know, like even everything about the when Flash Gordon, obviously he's only met that woman like on the plane, and then what's it, the line, something like that, they get back together. And in fact, I tell you, there's two good lines, right? I can remember them both now. First of all, Flash is hanging up, right, being tortured.
Oh yeah.
And she comes in a new outfit and she's crying, and he's like, "Don't cry, you look beautiful." And she cries some more, and then do you remember what her line was?
It's something about a mascara, isn't it? Like,
yeah, she goes
to do this mascara.
She goes, "It's my eye makeup."
Yeah. Yeah, she's in a sex slave outfit, and he's like, "Well, you look really good in your sex slave outfit. You're about to get raped."
Yeah, but he's not saying that because he genuinely wants a compliment. He's being nice to her, and what she should say is like, "Oh, Flash, don't worry, I'll be fine."
Yeah.
No, actually, I do look good. It's my eye makeup. Yeah. And then the second one is that they get reunited a bit later on, and she says some wisecrack, and he goes, "Oh, we'll tell that to our children," or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And then she walks off. And she goes, "Oh, careful, I just got engaged."
Yeah.
It's like, what? You've probably spent about 10 lines to each other in the whole of your life.
Or the bit where they're having a telepathic conversation and he keeps saying, "Oh,
God, yeah, that's amazing." Yeah.
And then he starts fantasising about the woman sitting next to him.
Yeah, then she... It's so good. It is. It's a brilliant film. I love it. Okay. And then she goes into the next film, and she goes like, and it's the next room, and she goes, "Oh, you know, Gordon is alive. How'd you know?" "Oh, we just did telepathy." It's just like, that thing that you just do.
I do like the lizard.
It's kind of like written by kids.
Yeah,
like what you'd see like children make.
Yeah,
I like the lizard men with their eyes in their mouth.
Yes, yeah. The look of shock.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed it. It was terrible, but like, I mean. There's two like genuinely terrible films on this list, I think. No, three. There's Safe's Not Guaranteed.
In your opinion?
In my opinion. But then Universal Soldier and this are the two sort of genuinely bad films, I think. Is that fair?
No. Yeah.
No, we've all got our own ideas on the list.
But you know what I mean, though?
To ourselves.
I think the criticisms you put against Universal Soldier, you could put against this.
Exactly.
Big budget, they thought it was going to be huge, they pulled all this money into it. Everyone's kind of trying their best, maybe. Well, some people are, and it's just a big mess. But I found Universal Soldier more entertaining.
But I didn't. I'm the exact opposite. I found Flash Gordon more entertaining because Universal Soldier just wasn't very exciting or interesting. No. At least this was like funny and just ridiculous. Like you just didn't know what was coming next, did you?
It does have the Queen's theme as well. That does get it a lot of points.
The music they play in the battle, like that weird like medieval pageantry combined with Queen like rock out. It's incredible.
That's
interesting to think at one time this is how people saw science fiction though. And my dad's not into sci-fi and he always thinks it's stupid. And I just think back that he's thinking of old Doctor Who, he's thinking of this.
Yeah.
He's probably never seen like 2001 or when sci-fi was more like artistically done. It was done or made by artists. Rather.
Yeah.
No, 100%. This is very much a traditional science fiction, ships and an evil, like medieval shit, but with spaceships, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
It's like all the props in the world has been designed by someone who's come from theatre and who's actually not interested in anything to do with science or anything to do with... They've looked at the comic book, they've gone, "Oh, look, there's a shape there of a rocket ship. We'll just do that."
Yeah. No, there's no... The only real science is a bit when they wipe Zarkov's brain and they... I didn't mind that when they regress him back to the feether. Although he defeats it. It's so stupid he defeats it by singing Beatles songs or whatever dumb thing is.
And then he becomes an expert on otherworldly electronics. They get to that door and they can't get through it. "Oh, don't worry, I can get that."
Yeah.
It was a simple algorithmical whatever, something or other.
Yeah. No, he's a
I like-
yeah.
I like that bloke though. I like him.
He is having fun. He's unhinged.
He's along for the ride, isn't he?
Yeah.
He knows what he's got into, and he's going to have as much fun as he can. Also, he kind of gets them away in the first place, like on false pretense, doesn't he? Like he says there's a phone in the rocket ship, doesn't he? And then they accidentally get blasted off.
And also, the whole plot revolves. Ming says that thing of I play around with planets, and if they notice me. If they don't notice me, I leave them alone. But if they notice me, I destroy them. So it's all his fault. If he just left it, Ming had just got bored and moved on.
That's true. Zarkov's the real.
Yeah, Zarkov's the villain.
One final note is that the Darth Vader stand-in who is incredibly creepy.
Yeah.
When he dies, the completely unnecessary eye popping and tongue popping through his mask.
Yeah.
They show him dying, cut away, cut back, eyes popped out. I guess somebody built those and thought, I want to use these eye props.
What rating is it?
Cool. I don't know. I imagine it's got to be a PG. The PG didn't exist then, did it?
Yeah, it feels a bit stronger than like a PG, doesn't it?
Ratings were a bit different back then.
Let's have a look.
There's just some dodgy stuff in there that you'd think, I don't know. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't say it's a PG.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not. Is it 12A? I don't know about that.
Also, out in deeper space, miles still exist, but now they're called Mongo miles.
not to be confused by Mongo minutes.
Mongo minutes, yeah. It's brilliant.
When you're travelling at like 500 miles a minute, just say 500 Mongo miles a Mongo minute.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, you do.
I imagine you do.
Yeah.
Even though it means exactly the same.
Well, we don't know. A Mongo mile might be like slightly longer.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, see, they've got that timer. This film's so good. They've got the timer, like when Earth's going to get destroyed.
I think you actually really like this film.
I do really like it. And then there's a bit when Flash Gordon like reprograms the Birdman ship to tell them the time Earth's going to explode, and he programs it down to the second. Despite having nothing to go on other than his memory. So I like to think he's been counting since he left Earth.
Yeah, that's why he's so stupid.
That's why he's acting so bad. He's going, that's 24 hours, 14 minutes, 13 seconds, 12 seconds, 11 seconds. All just can go, right, punch it in. I've got it. I've got it to the second. This is when it'll blow up. And then he has a final battle, and like that 8 seconds lasts for about 4 minutes, I think. Because...
But I think I would say, like Universal Soldier, this film only works if there's a bunch of you and you're having a few drinks and you can laugh the hell out of it on your own. When I watched it on my own, I was just like, yeah, it's funny,
Alex,
but...
I watched it alone and I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, okay.
I watched it doing the ironing, which is probably the least fun way of watching a film, and I absolutely fucking loved it.
Were you pissed?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. It was like 8:30 in the morning.
So yes, then he was pissed.
Yeah.
Still pissed from last night.
Yeah. All right, let's rank this film. For the third and final time, we're doing this all at the same time. Have a look. Have a quick look. Okay. Are we ready?
Yep.
Chris, you ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
19.
20.
I said 14.
I said 20.
19.
20. Right, let's do the old maths again then, shall we?
It's low, Sam. You're not going to get it up the list. This is down there with... This should be below safety not guaranteed.
No, it really shouldn't.
It should. No, it totally should.
Well, we'll see what I mean. Because I've said 30. I said 14, didn't I? 14 plus 19 plus 20.
What does
do the maths?
What does the maths tell us?
14. Let me put it into the science fiction rating system itself.
I was going to suggest a new item in this where I say the worst offender as far as like scientific plausibility out of the three films. But that film, there was just too much going on. Like
Everything.
that would have broken the system immediately. Right.
I did the calculation. It came out at 17.
Where's that then? What's that?
Above Spaceballs and below Inner Space. Above Safety Not Guaranteed, so I'm happy. That's all I wanted to see.
I think it should be lower, but, okay.
Everything below Edge of Tomorrow, I wouldn't watch again. Now, everything below Independence Day, I wouldn't watch again, but I would watch Flash Gordon again. That's why I said 14.
Okay, well,
but
it's there now.
I'll take 17. I agreed to the average system.
Yeah, you did.
I think it was the worst film I've seen on this thing, except it wasn't as boring as Scanner Darkly.
Yes, I agree entirely.
Yeah.
You think it was worse than Universal Soldier?
Yes.
I know you do, but Chris.
They're probably occupy the same sort of space for me, but yeah.
Okay, well,
as you say though, there's at least it's probably fun.
Yeah.
In a sort of gang show type
yeah,
way.
it's a laugh, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sort
It's
of
a
Royal
laugh.
Variety performance type way.
Well, there we go. There are 3 more films in the list, and we've now passed 20 films. So that's a proper official looking list, really. Let's do a little quick recap. Bottom 3, at 19, Safety Not Guaranteed. At 20, Universal Soldier: The Return. At 21, A Scanner Darkly. And the top 5, at number 5, Predator 2. Number 4, Ghost in the Shell. Number 3, Jurassic Park. Number 2, Star Wars: A New Hope. And at number 1, Unmoved: Aliens. That's how the list looks. Next week, it is the 18th annual Bug Week. So, we will be adding in 3... I'll be editing those laughs out.
You can look that up, listeners.
yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. And so we'll be celebrating bugs. The only way we know how, with science fiction bugs. So, our films are... Let's all say one each. Our first film is Alex.
David Cronenberg's remake of The Fly.
Our second film is Chris.
Verhoeven's Starship Troopers.
Our third film is Sam. Neil Blomkamp's District 9. Fucking prawns.
Very good.
We should have all done a line from the film.
I can't think of a flow. I'm just going... Bzz.
Just throw up all over your keyboard.
Yeah,
Alex.
I'll vomit on my hand and then eat
Pull
it.
all your nails off.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, God, it's so gross. Okay, yeah, so next week, or next time, celebrate Bug Week with us. For now, very soon we're having we've got a proper website coming. We've changed podcast providers. We are now, we're sort of future-proofed in a way. We can keep going forever to infinity, which is the plan. So that's all sorted. And probably this time next week, you'll have a new website as well. sciencefictionratingsystem.com. It's got the list. It's got how to get in touch. It's got... what else? It's got the episodes, more importantly, if you've missed any. But yeah, subscribe on iTunes, rate us and like us on iTunes. That is apparently the key to this whole thing.
And get in
Rate
touch.
and like. Yeah. Also get in touch. So you can email us at mail@sciencefictionratingsystem.com. Let me do that again a bit slower. mail@sciencefictionratingsystem.com. So if you've got an idea for 3 films we can watch, or if you want to complain about something, if you're a big Flash Gordon fan, just let us know. We're also on Twitter. Where are we on Twitter, Chris?
At Chris Redding.
No.
Now,
no.
I've just... Sorry.
At SF Rating System.
Oh, yes, sorry. Why did you ask me
Sorry.
that?
So I'm just trying to go, engage everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
Where are we on Instagram?
SF Rating System.
Where are we on Instagram, Alex?
I don't know that one.
Now.
SFRS?
No, at Science Fiction Rating System.
Okay, sorry.
Our video, the episodes will be available on YouTube soon as well, I think, but probably not SoundCloud because I think you've got to pay. I'm not paying.
You have to pay for SoundCloud, do you?
I think to get all your podcasts up there forever, you would, yeah. The limit's quite low on what you can put up. Yeah. But oh well. That's all really. So yeah, self-promotion now. Chris, self-promote.
Yeah, so I've just made a little short film this weekend, 48-hour short. Did some sort of retro time machine thing, safety not guaranteed style.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was really
Check
good.
that out on my social medias and just share and say nice things.
Yeah.
What was the prompt word for it?
The prompt, so we were given the title, which is Unreason.
Yeah.
And we were given a prop and action, and that was a circuit board, and then a character has to break it.
Ah, right.
Oh.
And then the line, which was, let them sweat it out, I'll speak to them later. Type. That was the line. So we had to get all them things into the film, and we had 2 days.
It's really good. Check it
Good
out.
stuff. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, check it out on YouTube. What's your YouTube account, Chris? You said that earlier. Sorry.
Chris Redding.
Chris Redding.
Yeah, I'll be tweeting that every 5 to 6 minutes. So if you check it out,
is it a competition?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Now it's entirely judged, but it's always good to have people like
boosting
going
for
mad
you.
Going mad on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, check it out, people. Alex, where are you?
At lovehorror.com, so check it out, and that's why I said The Fly. So, I don't think we've reviewed The Fly on there, but obviously a lot of other Cronenberg stuff, so yes, check us out.
Now's your chance. You can review it now.
Yeah, I will be reviewing it next time. I'm looking forward to going on about how gross it is.
Well-prepared intro to it.
Yeah, I will. Like this week. I can't just sing like this week, it's going to have to be more. Yeah, just vomiting, really. Just going to be vomiting.
And I am at Wheel the Robot on Twitter. At I don't know what I am on Instagram. Doesn't matter.
Changes all the time.
Yeah, you can't follow it anyway. I don't think it's blocked.
Yeah.
And for the music, for this week's music, go to samdraper.net, where in the near future there will be a science fiction rating system EP appearing.
Ooh.
Featuring some of the music in these episodes. So I'll be sure to plug that. Don't worry.
Can we have a single out?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, well, I'd like that 7-inch. Yeah, theme from science fiction rating system.
Can we talk? Can we talk? Sing on it?
Yeah, it should be like the Flash Gordon theme. It should have samples of us.
Or like that Christopher Lee metal album where you read out the Hobbit or whatever over metal.
It should just be Chris yelling, "What? No! Independence Day's brilliant!"
Yeah.
And then the ice cream van, maybe, or the dog.
Yeah, I've got a screen fan, yeah. Japanese animation is not a film, not a science fiction film.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to call the EP, I think. Yeah. Okay, no, I'm not doing that. Maybe it's a bonus track. We'll see. All right, and that's everything, isn't it? I think we're all set. So, yeah, join us next time for Bug Week. I've been Sam. They've been Alex and Chris. Goodbye.
Bye.